Well, hello once again, everybody. Welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast, a My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today podcast. I am your host. My name is Kevin, and I am so glad to have you here. I mean, I am ecstatic to have you here, actually. Are you kidding me? This is great. We're doing something a little bit different. This is more of like a late night edition because I've got me a nice gin and tonic while I'm doing this. Let me take a sip. So we're going to enjoy this one. I got a fun show for you. I actually have another guest on the show. I'll be calling them very shortly and can't wait to talk to them. I got some other stuff to talk about too. So let's get right into my favorite, well, not necessarily my favorite, but one that you might skip over, the shameless plugs, as I plug our Alexa skill, because that's what this is all built around. It's a way to get you involved and get you more notices. And when it comes to rock music, maybe discover a band you've never heard of before, maybe rediscover a band you haven't heard of in a long time, or just listen to your favorite song. So here's what you got to do. Enable the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today Alexa skill on your Amazon Alexa device. Link in the podcast description. Just click on it, enable it. Then all you have to do is say, "Hey Alexa, play my song of the day," and boom, you'll get a 5-second intro from yours truly. And from there, then, well, you'll just listen to the song actually. And then every 24 hours, the song will change. So you get a brand new song every day. It stays fresh, it stays fun, and you will enjoy it. So go enable that right now. Also, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because Facebook, that's where we run a lot of stuff out of. Twitter, we love to talk to you guys. Instagram, we love to talk to you guys and connect with you more via our IGTV videos and our live streams. Also, follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us on YouTube, because we put out new videos every single Wednesday, whether it be album reviews, band reviews, answering questions, finding out why bands did certain things, whatever it may be. So I would love to have you guys on all that, and I want to thank you for supporting us very much so. But yeah, I kept it short for shameless plugs, man. Can you believe that? Holy shnikes. Alrighty, enough with that. Let's get into our guest. This was actually someone who I connected with via Instagram, through our Instagram page, because last week on the podcast and last weekend, I saw on April 27th, I saw Motionless In White play in Madison, Wisconsin. So on Instagram, I'm just perusing the internet, perusing Instagram, and just looking for people that are talking about Motionless In White and what they're doing. And I connected with somebody talking about the concert, and they had one hell of an experience, and I know they like the band, and they want to talk about it. So this person's her name is Cadence, and let's see what she has to say. I'm going to give her a call right now. Let's give her a call. Let's see what happens. It's an Arkansas number. Ooh, interesting. I hope this works, because we'll see what happens. I'm not hearing a thing. I don't know if this is good or not. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, shoot, I didn't even have it turned up on my soundboard. Whoopsies, that's on me. So, Candace, hi, my name's Kevin. If you didn't know that, My Song of the Day Rock 2000 Day. This is the Chord Progression Podcast, and I'm happy to have you on. How are you this evening?
I am doing great.
You're doing great. That's fantastic. Well, I want to say thanks for willing to be on the podcast and just talk a bunch of random music with some random guy from Wisconsin. So I want to thank you very much for being a part of this.
Oh, no problem. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Alrighty, so I kind of give a little intro for the podcast right before I gave you the call, but basically the major thing I want to talk about is I saw Motionless in White on April 27th, and I was just going through Instagram just trying to connect with people because I enjoyed seeing the band. I want to see what other people are saying, and end up connecting with you when you saw the band. Was it sometime during the week? Was that Wednesday the 1st? May 2nd, so Thursday the 2nd. And
yep.
You said you had some interesting stories from that concert and just wanted to talk about it as well. So I want to hear, what all happened at this concert?
So my stepmother and my father got me and my best friend VIP tickets to go meet them.
Whoa. They gave you VIP tickets?
Yeah, they bought VIP tickets for me and my best friend to go meet them.
No freaking way.
Might I say, may or may not have cried.
Whenever someone says they may or may not have cried when something like that happens, it pretty much always means, yeah, they cried.
Yeah. So as soon as we were in line and I'm bouncing because I'm so excited to get to meet my favorite band, I turned the corner and they're standing there, instant tears. Um, kind of embarrassing, but also kind of relieved I finally got to meet them.
I'll say, don't worry when it comes to like the instant tears stuff. I've heard a lot of stories from a lot of people who've met certain bands where it's instant tears. Like one I hear a lot of that happens like that is when people meet Disturbed. I've heard a couple of stories like that as well. So just that kind of connection that people have with certain bands. It's like you see them and then all of a sudden you're overcome with emotion. It just shows how
Yeah.
much their music and the band themselves actually means to a person, no matter what they've actually maybe what they've gone through or anything else that really
Yeah.
helps them through life.
Mhm. And whenever it comes to me, I have been through a lot of bullying in the past few months, and I'd always listen to them and I'd sing along and jump up, and then I'd finally get like to the point where I'm happy and overjoyed. And so they've helped me a lot.
See, I actually really do understand that as well because back when I was in, I think this was in middle school, so this was like I want to say I'll go with 2007, 2008. That's when I really started getting into like more rock music and more metal
Mhm.
music. And I went through a lot of bullying as well. And one thing that helped me get through it was actually starting to listen to Disturbed. So I kind of get exactly where you're coming from here.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you saw the band walk in and you were right there and just instant tears hit. So, what happened after that?
So we got our picture and go back outside, wait for them to let us in. Well, when we get in, it's just me and my best friend, and we're waiting for my parents to come in. As soon as I see them, I grab them, wait there until the Fear My Name starts. And when they start, me and my best friend are instantly in love, might I say. And they play, Atreyu plays, and um, the dude from Fear My Name, Nate, he walks over there and he's like smiling at me and my best friend, and mm, yeah.
So
Then
you're just in heaven at this point. I mean, because you get did Fear My Name open up the show?
yes, they are the first people that opened, and then Atreyu came on.
Okay, and then during this whole entire show, where are you located on on the floor right now? Are you right up against the rail, or are you a little bit
Yes,
back?
we are literally right up against the rail,
Okay,
and
that's exactly where you should have been at this point. So I'm proud of you for that.
yeah, since we got early entry, me and Natalie, my best friend, made sure to get right there. But they came on, and yeah,
Alrighty, so what did you think of Fear My Name? Because I've actually never really heard of that band before, so I kind of want to get your take on them. What did you think of their set? What did you think of their music?
I really liked it. It was awesome. At first, I didn't know who they were or what they were about, but after they started playing, me and my best friend and my stepmom were both like, or we're all like, we really like this band. They are amazing.
It's really
There was a
interesting.
lot of screaming.
I'm gonna have to go take a look at them because when I saw them, they had this band. The name was Wilson. They were the ones that opened up for Atreyu, and then of course Motionless in White right afterwards. So I'm actually kind of curious to listen to Fear My Name just because I enjoy listening to those smaller bands that are just they're just starting out on tour as openers for some of these much larger bands, and because that's where you can really find some of those like diamonds in the rough that all of a sudden, oh, you saw them open up for this band. All of a sudden, 2 years later, now they're headlining shows that you really want to go to.
Mm-hmm. And like after the show, me and my best friend, of course, are posting all the pictures and videos. And I tagged Fear My Name, and they actually liked the post. They liked all three posts I tagged them in. And then they posted, um, what was this? One of the guitarists for Fear My Name, they posted a video, and you can see me, my friend, and my dad clear as day in the video. And I even commented, I said, yo, you can see us. And he liked the comment, liked one of my posts, and followed me. So
Oh, wow, nice.
I know, I'm like, I was shaking.
Alrighty, so I mean that is something that I actually really like seeing from bands because it really shows a connect that they have with the fans as well, because honestly, I know there are a lot of big bands out there, but a lot of times even the little ones, especially even if the big ones do it, where they're online and people are posting about them all the time, even the smaller ones, or people aren't posting as much about them, but when they see those posts and they start responding to those posts and actually engaging with the audience, I mean, you feel a stronger connection to that band personally, especially if the guitarists follow you, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And then, next thing you know, all of a sudden they're going on tour. They might be headlining their own show in 2-3 years, and they could easily remember the fact that, you made these posts about them and they really liked them. And next thing you know, you're backstage meeting the band, hanging out with them.
Yeah, and I even messaged them. I'm like, "Yo, y'all are awesome. I cannot cannot believe that I liked y'all as much as I did." And they even replied to replied to my message and was like, "Yo, we really appreciate it. Thanks for coming and watching." And I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, and you just feel a little bit more connected to that band now because of the fact that they're actually responding to you and you're having a conversation with. I mean, it could be when it comes to that direct message, it could be anybody in the band or it could be someone that they're working with, but there's a connection to the band there. When it comes to the guitarist following you, that's actually the guitarist following you. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you got something there, which is awesome.
And I was literally in my bed shaking so bad because I was like excited.
Then were you able to sleep at all, like at the night after the show, or were you just like so excited that you just couldn't fall asleep?
Well, we had a 4-hour drive
Oh,
from Springfield.
okay. I was about to say, like, wait, where was this show?
Yeah, we live here in Arkansas, and we had a 4-hour drive to Springfield, and we slept about 2 hours on the way there, and then we slept 2 hours on the way back.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw most of the Atreyu, they were in Madison, Wisconsin. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is about an hour and a half east of Madison. So driving home, it was just like I was falling asleep at the wheel. I'm like, okay, I gotta stay up. Not only that, but I had a concert the next night in Chicago I had to go to. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But then again, when I went to Chicago, I had to go see my favorite band. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go see it anyway. I don't care how tired I am.
I had school the next morning.
And you still want to go. That's a sign of a true fan right there. So anybody listening, this is the sign of a true fan, because doesn't give a shit if she has a school night or not. Just will drive 4 hours to go see your favorite band and drive back. So if anybody from Motionless in White hears this, I mean, shoot me a message because I'll get you connected to this person.
I was tired. I was falling asleep during testing because I had ACT that day.
Oh,
So
well,
I was dying.
okay. Well, I'll put it this way though. When it comes down to it, in the end, I'll say give it a year from now. What are you gonna remember? You're gonna remember what you did in that ACT test, or are you gonna remember going to see Fear That Name, Atreyu, Emotionless in White?
I'm gonna remember the band. I could give two craps less about the test.
Yes.
Honestly, I just clicked straight through all the answers and I was like, "Can I go?" I had an hour to do the test. I was done in 45 minutes.
Nice. Alrighty, so I want to jump into the second band that was on that show, which was Atreyu. So what'd you think of Atreyu playing live as well?
Honestly, I liked it more than I thought I would because I'd heard Atreyu before, but I was never really a big fan. But seeing them live really made me like them. And Dan, you know what I'm talking about, Dan Jacobs?
I should, but for some reason it's just not in my mind right now.
He's the shorter one of the guitar, and he came over to where we were, and I kind of waved at him, and he had this face of pure joy, and he waved back, and that was the moment I knew that this was real. I was actually there, and that this is going to be in my mind for the rest of my life.
Because I can't remember what the name of the bassist is, but did he ever jump into the crowd at all during the show? Because when I saw him, I still can't remember his name. He jumped in the middle of the mosh pit and was just playing, and people were just circling around him, and it was something that was probably the best part of Atreyu's set that I saw. Did anybody do that during your show?
Are you talking about Porter McKnight?
Probably,
With the
yeah.
beard?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, he got down off the side of the stage and was like talking and playing with some of the people beside us, but he never jumped out into the crowd. I mean, he came over there to us and like stepped onto the railing next to my friend and me and was like playing his guitar and smiling at us and hitting our hand and stuff.
All right, because I was gonna say if you want to check out like what I mean by like him jumping in the middle of mosh, but I mean if you just go look at our Instagram page, like I know I have a video of it on there because I mean I was right in the middle of all that and I was like, this is freaking awesome. But
Oh, you're so lucky.
but in the end of it, like when I was after Atreyu set was done, I'm not gonna lie. From my standpoint, I was actually just a little bit disappointed because I expected something a little bit more from them in a sense,
Yeah.
especially because one of my good friends from back when I was a kid, I'm still good friends with him. His favorite band is Atreyu, and I tried getting him to go to the show with me, and he couldn't spring it, which I was kind of disappointed about just because I wish I could have taken him to see his favorite band, but what are you gonna do about it? But it seemed like their energy just wasn't where I was expecting it to be. But I don't know if that was different from when you saw them or if it's a consistent thing.
Yeah, at times it looked like they were lip singing, but then I realized that the drummer was actually singing too. Um, you couldn't really see him due to lights, but he was singing, so that's why it looked like that.
Okay, then that makes sense because I mean when I saw him, I knew that the drummer was going to be singing at some point, and especially because they opened up with "The Time Is Now," and I was just looking for it, and then of course the chorus hits and he's just going at it. I'm like, okay, there we go. This is what I was expecting, but they looked a little too rigid for what I was thinking they were going to be, especially because
Yeah.
when I'm used to seeing bands when they play a lot more fluid, and every single other band I've seen this year, I think only one other band did not play as rigid or played more rigid as in comparison to Atreyu, and that would have been Under Oath.
Yeah.
So, but then all right, let's cut through it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this as well. I'm in Wisconsin, so meat and potatoes is a huge thing. Let's get to Motionless in White, okay? Because
Woo.
this is the key. So let's just start there. Start of the show when they came on the stage, because I know you're right on the rail. What was going through your mind? How are you feeling? And do you remember what they opened up with?
They opened up with Reincarnate, one of my all-time favorites. I know every word. So my mind was like, "Oh my God, that's my husband." Yes, I call Chris my husband.
Don't worry, I actually
And
have someone that's an Instagram follower on here that's actually I become friends with, and she calls Chris her husband too. So you two have to fight over him.
whoever you are, back off.
No, I know she'll hear that. So
But he's my
this will be
husband.
fun.
5 fingers for 5 husbands that are all on tour.
Ooh, nice.
So he opened up with Reincarnate, and I'm me and my best friend and my dad, even behind me, and stepmom, we're all bumping, and he's singing and coming over to the side of the stage, hitting our hands, and I was like, "Wow, this is." I'm in front of my idols, listening to them live, and it was just a sense of shock, but also I was relieved, kind of, because I was here with things I love. And I have really bad anxiety, like around big groups of people, but being there, I didn't have any anxiety.
Now, is that just because you were seeing your like when you're is Motionless in White your favorite band?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so you're probably just because I'm thinking about this. You're seeing your favorite band and you are in your element, and it's just like it doesn't matter if there's a lot of group people around there. It just feels like you are in a place that you really want to be, and that you feel like you are a part of something. So that anxiety is just gonna completely go away, and you're gonna be feeling. I don't know the best way to describe it, but you're gonna be feeling like you're on cloud nine right there.
Oh, definitely.
Now, is this your first time seeing Motionless in White in concert, or have you seen them before this specific show?
First time.
First time. Holy shit. Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm definitely glad that you're on this because now I get a perspective of someone who's seen their favorite band for the first time as well. Now it's taking me back to when I saw my favorite band for the first time. I'm just like I'm reliving all those feelings right now, and this is absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm just loving this.
I honestly, I would never take that day back, not for any amount of money. If if someone offered me like the highest amount of money you could go on those tickets, I'd say no, screw off.
See,
My ticket.
I would do the same thing for mine because I saw my favorite band, which is Rise Against. I saw them for the first time back in 2011 at Summerfest in Milwaukee, which is a large music festival, and they were playing on one of the free stages or the free stages, and they were going on at 10 o'clock, but because people just wait there all day. I was waiting there all freaking day from like I think I got there around like 2, and I was waiting there for
Wow.
8 hours just to go see them, and I've seen them a total of I want to say 8 times right now. Yeah, because that was the band I saw last Sunday in Chicago.
Dang.
I know I'm ridiculous.
Well, honestly, if I had the money to go see bands, I'd seen them from left to right.
I'll say don't worry. In time, all of a sudden you'll because once I started this project, I've seen more concerts after starting this whole entire project than I have in this string of time that I haven't because this year alone I've seen 3 Days Grace and Disturbed. I've seen Under Oath, Skillet, Breaking Benjamin. I've seen Motionless In White, Atreyu. I've seen Rise Against, and then next weekend or this upcoming weekend I should say, because I know this is coming out on Tuesday. I'm going to see In This Moment. So we'll see how that all turns out.
Oh, lucky. I love In This Moment.
It's,
But I will,
I'm sorry. There was someone that actually was like that actually follows the all our Instagram stuff that actually talked me into going to see In This Moment. So I'm like, and I really didn't listen to him much at first. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to turn out.
wow. My stepmom is like, hell yeah.
Alrighty, so jumping back to Motionless in White. So now we're through the beginning part of the show. Listen, they start opening up with the Reincarnate, and I mean, you're probably singing every single word of this whole entire song up on the
Oh.
rail. Now, as the show goes on, what are your feelings? What are you feeling throughout the rest of the show? How are you enjoying it? And did the mosh pit ever come near you?
I'm throughout the entire time, I'm like still in shock, but also in that like, yeah, let's rock. The mosh pits, there was like four, but they were like behind us and in the middle, while we were over towards the right side of the stage. And um, I mean, nothing really happened during the beginning except them like coming over there and singing. But Justin, the bass,
Yeah.
he like stared me and my friend down. Like every time I'd look at him, he'd be staring at me. He'd look up off at the crowd. Then he'd look at Natalie, my friend. Then he'd look back at me, and I caught it on video about, I'd say 8 times.
That's a lot of times, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So that right there happened. Then it was Voices. During Voices, I'm of course singing along because I know all the words. And it was right before If Fear Were a Currency, You'd Own the Bank. Chris is doing his whole pointing thing, and I'm pointing at him, and he's pointing straight at me. And at that moment, I died.
So at that moment, was your heart just like beating out of your chest? You're just thinking, oh my God, this is actually happening right now?
Yes, at that moment, I think my heart stopped and then like regained beating, but fast. So, yeah.
Alrighty, so again, this is your first time seeing your favorite band, so you're just like I know I said you must be on cloud nine at this point, but now it's just the bass is staring you down, Chris is pointing at you, and you're just must be thinking, this might be one of the best nights ever because you're just like everything that I know you said you've been experiencing a good amount of bullying late or some bullying lately. And it's just like the thing that's really getting you through it and now you're actually there. You're actually seeing it be and listening to it live and the band is actually interacting with you. I mean, that's completely unreal and that's something that if it gets back to where all of a sudden if you get to a point where it's like you're just the bullying's just getting to be too much, you can always just go right back to that and get back to being and centering yourself in a way, so that the music can be your I don't know what the best way to put it, like your escape or like your driving force to just keep focusing on what you're doing.
Yeah. Like, I could never take back the look that Justin and Chris gave me. It was so unreal. I can't even explain it.
Yeah, so I kind of want to get and because I know you said you were like when that happened was during Voices and Voices was actually the song that got me into the band first because I really didn't know the band up until the person who said that Chris was her husband that actually is a big part of what we're doing. She actually turned me on to the band. She's like, "Oh, hey, Liz, have you heard of Motionless in White?" And just said, "Check it out." And I listened to Voices, the first song I listened to, and I was hooked right away. I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, "How the hell have I never heard of these guys?"
My dad actually showed me Motionless in White. I don't know. The first song he showed me was Loud. So however long ago that came out.
Loud was on the Graveyard Shift album, so that came out in 2017. That was also the album that had Voices on it.
So it was around 2017 that I started listening to them, and it just kind of progressed from there. I began listening to them more, and I go to the concert.
All right, I got to ask you this question, though. What of their songs is your favorite out of all of them? So what is your absolute favorite song by Motionless in White?
Now that's a trick question. So I don't have a personal favorite. I could go down the list.
We got time. Let's go down the list.
Okay, so there's Reincarnate, Devil's Night, Eternally Yours, Voices, Necessary Evil. What's the other ones I listen to? Oh, geez.
Is it
Loud.
Is Immaculate Misconception on that list?
Yes, Immaculate Misconception. I love that song. Sadly, they didn't play it, though.
Really?
Yeah, both of their new songs, A Brand New Numb and Disguise.
Okay,
they played Disguise.
We'll jump into Brand New Numb and Disguise a little bit later on because after we talk about like we get to the end of the you seeing the band, just because I do want to get your take on some of that stuff. But I'm really glad that when you're running through, it's like you couldn't pick because you just love them all so much, and probably for different reasons as well. Then that's a reason why a lot of people like different music. But I'm just really glad that my favorite Motionless in White song actually was in your list. So feeling pretty good about it.
So yeah. Oh, and speaking of Eternally Yours.
Yes, that's the one I was referring to.
Okay. Remember whenever I was talking about the Rose?
Yeah, and the reason I brought that, I remember when I asked you about that, the reason I brought it up was because when I saw them, when the roadies were setting up, I saw the roses were attached to Chris's mic stand. I'm like, I wonder why the hell they're putting roses there. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And as the show's going on and on and on, and they end their set and they go off, and, of course, the encores come. I'm like, they haven't played Eternally Yours yet, and they haven't done anything with the roses. And then it just clicked. I'm just like, oh, I know what they're doing. But I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to let you tell it.
So they play their last song. I cannot remember exactly what song they play, but they're like, good night and stuff, and they just walk off. But the roses are still on the stage. Like, they're right there. They walk back into this little, like, stairway and stand there for a minute. And then we're all yelling one more song because we know it's not over. We're not dumb.
Oh, yeah. If the lights don't come on and the roadies don't come on stage, it ain't over.
Oh yeah. So we're sitting there yelling one more song, and then they all walk out, and he takes the mic, looks at the crowd, he says, "Springfield, we are Motionless in White, and we are eternally yours." And the song starts up. Me and my friend are screaming because we love this song, right?
It's such a fantastic song.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me. And he starts singing. Throughout the middle of the song, he goes over there and grabs the roses, takes like 4 or 5 of them, goes over to the opposite side of the stage than we are, tosses a couple roses out, comes over to where we are, or goes over to the middle, tosses a couple roses, then comes over to where we are, and looks straight at me with a rose in his hand, points the rose at me, drops it over my head, and then some wonky birch behind me grabs the rose, and I have my hand on the stem, and I'm not letting go. I have a death grip, trying to yank it out of her hand. The stem breaks, and I take the stem in my other hand, I throw it down, turn around, I yelled, "You're a bitch." And she says, "Huh, sorry." I almost started a fight, but had to keep my cool.
Now, if your parents weren't around, would you have fought this woman?
I mean, knowing me being the teenager, knowing me being the small teenager I am, I don't want to start a fight with an adult and quite possibly lose and get kicked out. So I probably would have just turned around, kept my cool, because he still had another rose, which, might I say, he was going to give my stepmom, but the lady next to her pushed her hand down and grabbed the rose. Well, Justin saw what happened. He rolled his eyes and did went over to me and straight up gave me his guitar pick. I touched his hand.
So instead of I know they do guitar picks, they'll just chuck them on the crowd. So he physically handed you the guitar pick after noticing what happened. Was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, he stepped. We have it on video too. He stepped right in front of me, had the guitar pick in his hand, and reached out, and I took it from his hand.
Alrighty, who was in the background that said we have it on video? Because I could easily hear that it wasn't your voice.
That's my stepmom. She's here.
All right, I gotta say this. Hi, stepmom.
Hello.
Alrighty, so and then that's the end of the show. I mean, and then you're going home, and are you just feeling this was again? I know you're probably feeling this is the coolest thing ever, coolest experience ever. Still wish you could have gotten that rose, and maybe made sure that one woman didn't get it. But I digress. But I mean, again, this is an experience that you're never ever gonna forget, and this is an experience that's gonna take you're gonna keep with the rest of your life. And when times get tough, or when you're just feeling down, you can always go back to the memory of that show and just remember how you felt during it and what it made you what it made you feel. And you're gonna feel that every single time you listen to those songs.
Yeah, I still even if it's a couple days later, every time we talk about it, I get that giddy feeling inside. I'm like, I got to hug him.
I'll say, don't worry. I get the same exact thing. I mean, I totally understand. And not only that, but anybody else listening to this will easily understand the first time they saw their favorite band. They're just gonna feel that.
Yeah, it's something I will never be able to forget. Oh, and I didn't mention this, but whenever I started crying after I got to meet, after I saw them, Chris looked at me, he said, "Do you need a hug?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
And did Chris give you a hug?
Yes.
Hell yeah!
At that moment, I knew I was in love.
All right, well, continuing speaking about Motionless in White, I talked about with a couple of people on our last podcast, but I want to talk about it with you as well, specifically because I think it's something that's definitely worth talking about, especially with the fact that they're coming out with a new album in June with the 2 singles they've come out with, Disguise and Brand New Numb. So What are your takes on each single? And let's start with Disguise.
Disguise. Oh my goodness gracious! It came out what, a month ago?
It came out about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, if I'm correct.
Well, it came out like the actual song without the video came out before that.
Or no, it was like 3 weeks ago. I just can't remember what day. I
Yeah.
remember it was a Wednesday. I just don't remember what exact day it was.
Because I remember getting home from school and looking at my phone, and I got a notification that they had posted a new video. So I listened to it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is my jam. And listened to it every day until the concert. So I knew every word.
And have you listened to it every day since the concert?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, because from everyone that I've talked to about it, I agree with them. It's just when listening to Disguise, this is just classic Motionless in White. Just everything that they've done within their past 4 albums. If you kind of rolled into one and like put their style on something, Disguise is that song.
Yeah. And in the middle of the show, before he played the song, Chris was like, yo, who heard our new song? And like we all screamed, and he was like, who hasn't heard our new song? And a couple people raised their hand. He was like, wow, these people are like, yo, I love you guys, but fuck y'all's new music. And then he made a Harry Potter joke. And at that moment, I knew we were soulmates.
All right, what did you think of Brand New Numb?
Brand New Numb, it's awesome too. I know 90% of the words to it. And just like Disguise, listen to it every day since the concert and before the concert.
All right, because when I listened to the Brand New Numb for the first time, I was a little put off by it. I'm actually not gonna lie; it just didn't seem like it. I just didn't fully grasp it. I don't know why. It just didn't seem like it just hit me as well. But then when I heard it live, it just completely changed it up. I actually liked the song a lot more after hearing it live from the band, because I don't know why. It's just the energy that they brought throughout that whole entire show was fantastic. Now, granted, I was basically either on the edge of the mosh pit or being thrown into the mosh pit throughout the whole entire show. But I mean, that's kind of the way I want it to be. I mean, I had a insanely amount of fun at that concert and enjoyed seeing them live more than a good amount of bands that I've seen live, not only lately, but throughout most of my life.
Yeah, it's a good song. Like, whenever I first listened to it, like you said, it was kind of like they made this, but then I listened to it more and I'm like, okay, I actually kind of like this. This is awesome. And I don't know, it just like it relates a lot to my life. Can't really explain it.
I'll say, could you explain a little bit more? But if you can't explain it, that's all right. I mean, if it's something that's kind of tough to explain, I totally understand it. But if it's something that like you could really use to relate to everything that's going on in your life, that's always a good song. And honestly, when I think of something like that, one song that kind of always comes to my mind when people are talking about, something that can really be relatable to your life. And this is just, I don't know why. I think it's also for some weird connected reason why they called this song Brand New Numb, is because every time I think of something like that, I think of Numb by Linkin Park. Which is wildly coincidental, but I kind of don't think it is.
Okay, I did not think about that. That's wow.
I mean, especially if you're connecting to a lot of stuff that's going on in life, and that was a song that I connect to a lot when stuff was going on in my life, was Numb by Linkin Park, and holy crap, is it just? Yeah. And you're calling the song Brand New Numb. I'm like, is this the new Numb? I mean, you're calling it, so kind of feels like it.
My stepmom just said that Linkin Park helped her through a bunch, so it's kind of like Motionless in White with me.
Yes, yeah, and when I was going through a bunch of stuff that I was going through, just like depression-wise, some suicidal tendencies, actually a good amount of suicidal tendencies, I'm not going to lie, couple of bands that really got me through it were Linkin Park, and now this was right after the unfortunate loss of Chester Bennington. And of course, Disturbed helped me through, Rise Against helped me through because, well, those are two bands that are my favorites, and I'm not going to, not listen to them. And then one that a lot of people really, just because of the music, a lot of the music I listen to, one band that really kind of just is weirdly, I really, really weirdly connected with, but kind of the music stylings is a little bit different or completely different, is 30 Seconds to Mars.
Freaking love them.
Is that your stepmom who freaking loves them?
Yep.
Alrighty, I don't mean to make her jealous, but last summer I was in California for Camp Mars, and this summer I'm going to Croatia for Mars Island.
Already going to see In This Moment. Kind of pissed.
This is what happens when, I literally am just basically spending all my money trying to build up a music bit, like a rock music community, rock music side business for myself, so I can, basically do this for the rest of my life, and going to see concerts and having fun on my own. Sure, I don't really have much of a social life or do much outside of it, but
Same.
but what you gonna do about it?
Well, if you need help with that, I'll be free, on the weekends,
Summer's coming up.
Summer. I'm down to go to concerts. Don't care who they are.
I'm planning to go to a good amount of concerts during the summer just because we always have, especially in Wisconsin, we always have a good amount of music festivals that go on. The one closest to me is Summerfest because it's right in the city I live in. But the lineup this year I thought was pretty crappy. The only two bands I might go see are August Burns Red, because I have a good amount of friends that actually want to go see that. And I might go see Skillet again, which is kind of weird because they were here in March and they're going to be here at the beginning of July. But then we have Rockfest and Rock USA, and I just don't really have the lineups right in front of me. But there are a bunch of bands in there that I would really like to go see.
See, people here don't really listen to rock music. It's more country and rap. And I'm not into that stuff. Country, I grew up listening to it because, we're in the South. Well, I got more into rock than everyone else, and that's really where I get made fun of for being emo and, liking black. And so we really don't have rock concerts. It's more of if they come here, we get to go see them. But that's once in a blue moon.
Yeah, but I got a couple of things to say about that. First off is you got to go see Motionless In White, which is just absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure I just don't know really what's going around in Arkansas or of any kind of music festivals around there that I could suggest, just because I talked to a good amount of people about kind of what's going on in, festival-wise within around the country, and just try and keep in contact with people like, okay, so where's this band heading? What's the tour looking like for this one? And that's just one area I'm kind of still pretty non-existent in. Well, in my mind, I should say. Yeah. But one other thing I kind of want to jump on is, just because I know you said that kind of for some reason, for kids are making fun of you or people are making fun of you because you like rock music and it's just not what's popular around you. And it's like saying you're like black or you know what you got to say. You know what you got to say to those kids?
Screw you.
I was gonna say, go fuck yourself. And this is the reason why. It's because a lot of times it's when they're making fun of you for something like this, they're insecure in themselves. And when it comes to the fact that you know the kind of music you like and you know that and you know what it means to you, you can really take a lot of that and make sure that you're comfortable with yourself and be comfortable with who you are. Because more than likely they're not, because they're just trying to follow the crowd and just make sure that they're not necessarily seen by people as great, but just so that they're a part of the crowd and non-existent. The fact of the matter is that you are kind of you are an individual in this. And if one thing that would be majorly helpful, and I'm not sure just where it is in this, but if you just are fully happy with who you are and fully accepting of who you are, and you don't give a shit about what other people think, and I'm saying if people are going to judge you for that, then then who cares? Mostly because if you are confident in who you are, you can make that go anywhere in life. You can go anywhere in life, honestly. If you have a passion, and you're confident in yourself, then you're not going to care about what other people say. Other people might doubt you, but you're just going to end up using that as fuel and as motivation to just make your goals and your dreams become reality.
Yeah. And one of the main reason people are like, you like that stuff is because I'm a cheerleader, right? I cheer for my school. And we're supposed to be like the popular girls that are stuck up and rude to everybody. But behind that, me and my best friend both cheer. Behind that, we are the little emo kids that no one messes with because of who we are and what we like. And the picture I posted on my account of us flipping the camera off was
awesome.
It was awesome, but I caught hell for it because some petty ass bitches from my school wanted to screenshot it and show my cheer coach, and it's apparently like not appropriate and kids look up to me. But no kids look up to me. No one likes me. I have been told that by numerous people. Today, a week ago, numerous people have said, no one likes you. And I'm like, I know no one likes me. So that's why I did it. That's why I posted it, because I don't care.
Honestly, I gotta applaud you for that. I mean, my God. The fact of the matter is, you listen. I'm gonna go back to the other cheerleaders on your team. I mean, they might be listening to anything that's in pop culture right now, but it's probably, in terms of the content, it's a lot worse than a lot of stuff. Like a lot, more. I don't know what the best way. A lot more. Just I wouldn't say. I'm just trying to think. Not dirty. Just not really anything substantial. Just talks about the same things. Sex, drugs, alcohol, money. That's all it talks about. That's all they talk about.
Murder.
Yeah. And you look at bands like, I'm gonna use again Motionless In White as an example. It's their songs. They sound something that not a lot of people, especially the mainstream, is gonna really take on. But you look at the actual meaning of the songs and how deep they get.
Yeah.
And when it comes to your cheer coach, it's like, oh, you're supposed to look this certain way. Yeah, but you got to think about it. You got to think about this too. That's the person that you are. It's the person you are is the person that likes music. And if you're the person that's slipping off the camera, I mean, I absolutely love the move. Now you got to be careful, just because again, society's not going to think the same way that I do. But I absolutely love the fact that you're just being your authentic self.
Yeah, and since that picture was posted, people parents from my school are going on Facebook and talking about how irresponsible my parents are for letting us cuss and flip off the camera, when they know fair and square we're going to do it anyway. Like, even if they say stop, we're going to do it behind their backs anyway. So why not just let us?
Should I try and get them on this podcast and talk some sense into them?
Yeah.
14 million parents that called and texted me in the past couple of days. You're so irresponsible. How could you do that?
At least they're not letting us go out and drink and do drugs and get knocked up, and
like a lot of those other people probably are.
There's a girl in my grade that's fucking pregnant. She's about to give birth.
Holy shit.
I'm in 8th grade.
Wait. There's a girl that's in your 8th grade class who's about to give birth?
Yeah, in June.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear nothing from those parents.
Exactly. I mean, are you kidding me? No, I mean, I've got a story similar like that as well. And again, this actually goes back to when I was in 8th grade and I went to a private Catholic school, so you can tell how great that is.
I'm so sorry.
I also went to a Catholic high school as well, so yippee. But where I was going with that is, so when I was in 8th grade, we always had this like a resource period like once a week, and the teacher would always pick one person and they'd bring in like a CD. Now, granted, this is 2008. Bring in a CD and they could play music, and so you could get a listen to what everyone else really liked. Everyone was playing the exact same crap, the exact same like Kanye, Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, Kelly Clarkson, all that kind of crap.
And then there's us.
Then there's my week, and this was right after Disturbed released their Indestructible album, and I knew just not to play Deceiver, which was song number 3. That's all I knew, because I knew they said fuck like 3 or 4 times in that song. I knew it. So I took it with me, played the first song, which is Indestructible, and then the second song was Inside the Fire, which actually talks about suicide, which is very deep, and especially the music video is ridiculous. But then right as song 3 was going to come out, I was just going to skip the track and go to song 4. No big deal. After song 2 hits, all of a sudden the music cuts out, and I'm like, oh, I was about to go up and just change it. My teacher, who was our religion teacher at that point, took it out and said, I need to speak to you after class. I'm like, great, this is going to be fun. So after class, she tells me that, I shouldn't be listening to this music and just is reprimanding me for it. I'm just kind of not caring, just because the fact of the matter is I'm still going to listen to it anyway. This is my favorite music. Yeah. She gives a letter for me to give to my mom. And I'm like, okay, so I give it to my mom when I get home. And she's like, I want to read this with you, after she read it once, and she read it through, and we just could not stop laughing because they were calling out our parenting style. She's like, this is what the kid likes as music. It was actually something that was a derivative of what my dad would listen to when my dad was younger, because when he was younger, he listened to a lot like Van Halen, ZZ Top, Rush, AC/DC. So he was like a late 70s, early 80s rock music fan, so I kind of took a lot off of that, and that's where my influences start, and I branched into my own. But then my mom sent a letter back saying like, yeah, we bought him that CD. We want him to listen to it because that's what he likes, and he's not doing anything bad or anything. He's actually one of the better students in there. He's one of the nicest kids actually in your class, and you're going to reprimand him for this? And I'm just like, I love this.
Honestly, I would have took the paper and like put it up to her face and ripped it.
See, I was too nice of a kid at that point. Now, I would easily do something like that.
I am the shy kid. Well, I used to be the shy kid, so I wouldn't have done that. Now, I've cussed in front of every one of my teachers, and they just kind of looked at me and then looked away and walked off. Well, no one really cares. The teachers don't really care with what I listen to. It's the students. If I say one bad word, it's like, oh, you're going to the principal's office, because it's what they want. But once they tell the teacher, they're like, okay. So
honestly, I think a lot of that might be just that they're insecure with themselves, and they're just too scared to go against the norm, which you are not afraid to do.
Honestly.
And that's honestly something that, I mean, I'll put it this way. If you feel like going against the norm and doing what, like, especially I'm going to use this music as an example. If you think going against the norm and listening to stuff like Motionless In White is going to make you happy, and that's what you want to do, then by God, do it. If going with the norm is something you're going to enjoy, then go do it, because it's all about not what anybody else thinks. It's about what you think. Especially when it comes to music. If this is the music you enjoy, you listen to it.
Yeah, I am honestly really insecure about stuff like that. I sing, okay? I'm in choir, I sing. But I want to be able to sing songs that I like out in public, but I'm too insecure because of people at my school who've told me that I'm worthless and that I'm a horrible singer. And so I've started to believe that, and now I'm too scared to even sing in choir in front of people. So.
Alrighty, 2 things. First off, fuck those people. Second off, if you've learned anything from this conversation so far, if something's gonna be stick, it's gonna be this. Don't care about what they think, because more than likely they're just too insecure in themselves to actually come up with something, and they're just trying to bring you down to make you feel as miserable as they do. And if at some point you do feel like they're really bringing you down, you need a quick boost or something, I need you to do something. All I need you to do is I need you to direct message us at the My Song Today Rock 2000 Today page, and we will. And for somehow, I don't know how, but I'll do it. I'll give you like some pump up speech, some motivational speech. It'll get you right back into it.
That honestly works. Like, that honestly make my day.
It does, and I actually got another thing for you if you're interested. Just because when it comes to there's another podcast. I mean, I listen to this podcast pretty much every single day because there's always a new episode every single day. But it's more of like a what kind of podcast? It's more of like a business entrepreneurship type podcast that I really listen to. I really get a lot from. But the guy talks a lot about being just like caring, not necessarily caring about yourself, but being what's the word? Being confident in who you are and really just understanding that and how far that can actually get you. So if you're looking for something like that, I can easily, kind of turn you on to that guy's podcast.
Okay, that works for me.
Already.
Honestly, I would need it.
So you got anything to write this down on, or just because I can give it to you right away?
My stepmom's pulling something up. Go.
Alrighty, the guy's name is Gary, Gary. And his last name is Vaynerchuk, Vaynerchuk. I listen to this guy all the time, and he talks a lot about it's a lot about business, but it's also a lot about personal development and finding confidence in who you are and really honing in on what makes you happy in life.
Honestly, I love this dude already.
I mean, when I first heard about him, I absolutely was like, okay, I've heard about him on one podcast I was listening to. I heard about him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and my cousin was like, you got to check this guy out. So I'm like, okay, now I really got to check this guy out more so. And kind of one of the biggest reasons why I started this was because I realized that this is what was going to make me happy. And I realized that all off of listening to this guy pretty much every single day.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what I want to do with life anymore. After graduate high school, I was wanting to go to the military, wanting to become a marine biologist after that. But then also there's the fact that I love to act and I love singing and all of that. So I'm kind of in a twist. Do I want to do this, or do I want to pursue what I've done my entire life and act and sing?
Say, when it comes to that, I mean, just honestly take your time, because you said you're only in 8th grade. I mean, you don't have to have your whole life planned out for you. I mean, heck, 3 years ago at this point, I thought I was going to be working a corporate job for a company that was in Milwaukee that was, grounded in there, that I was going to be able to have a stable job for the rest of my life. But I realized I ended up actually getting that with a different company, but I realized that just doesn't make me happy anywhere in the slightest, because it's too mundane for me. It's working towards someone else's goals, and that's just not what I want. I need to work towards my own goals, and that's what this is all about.
See, that's awesome. You do what you love. And if I could, I would be out there at every single concert I could go to, interviewing them. But sadly, I have school.
Shoot, if I end up getting this big enough, I might have to, and actually start needing employees to do that stuff, I might have to hire you on full time.
Oh, bet. I'd be down.
Now, that might not be for another couple of years, but, hopefully.
You have my Instagram. Just hit me up.
That I do. I'm going to take a look at how long I've had you on the phone for, because I really don't know off the top of my head, even though I should, because almost like 55 minutes. Dang, we're going long on this one. Couple other questions. Any other bands that you've really seen lately, just in concert, or any other great concert stories that you might have? Because I'm just curious.
Back in December, me and my friend Natalie, we actually, for her birthday, went and seen Five Finger Death Punch and Breaking Benjamin.
Ooh.
And From Ashes to New and In Flames opened for them.
Even more ooh.
And we were actually in the pit. And so we got to experience our first mosh pit and our first rock concert, might I say.
Okay, how was that first mosh pit experience?
Oh, I got to punch a few people. It was awesome, kind of mad because I got beer in my hair. People behind us were smoking weed. Um, but altogether, mosh pits are awesome.
Or no, if you're going to mosh pit again, or which I know you probably will, let me give you a pro tip. Make sure your shoes are tied tight.
Oh, I wear boots, so
Then you don't have to worry because I've actually lost my shoes in a mosh pit before.
Well, dang.
I magically got them back, but one I picked up and one was launched into the other end of the crowd. And I thought I lost, and then 10 minutes later it came flying back in. Yep, that's a Skillet concert for you.
Oh, yes.
Which is absolutely and utterly ridiculous, but I absolutely loved it.
Wow. I mean, so during the Breaking Benjamin concert, you know, can't remember who threw it, but he's just guitaring away and he points the pick out at the crowd, right at me. I think at me. I don't know. It could just be my imagination. But he throws it and it hits my elbow and falls to the floor. And there's a mosh pit at the time. I, being my dumb self, bend down to grab the guitar pick. Luckily, I am still alive. I am fine.
Did you get the guitar pick though?
Yeah, I got it. And I got 5 from Motionless in White concert.
See, that's where you easily have me beat because I've never actually caught anything at a concert. It was when I went to go see 3 Days Grace and Disturbed. One of the actual one person I actually helped get to a Disturbed concert through my page actually was at that show, so I ended up going to see them because they were right up front. They got me and my buddy right up on the rail, right by Dan Donegan, the guitarist, and which was awesome. And they had one of the guys had a pick from 3 Days Grace, and he's like, "Well, I actually have a couple of these from other concerts, so here, have a pick." And I'm actually looking at that pick right now because I pulled it out of my backpack.
Mine is on a Supernatural poster that I have. It's stuck between the frame and the glass. Then I have my other picks in a little glass case with my VIP pass and the button thing.
See, I'm not necessarily sure where I'm going to put that pick or anything else because I'm in the process of moving right now, so little bit. I just don't know where it is. That's why I got my backpack because I always have my backpack on me no matter what. So it's like, yep, it's gonna stay there for now. I was gonna leave it at work, but then again, I had a couple of problems with that. One was because I didn't want to lose it at work. 2 is because I didn't want the 1 or 2 other rock music fans to be like, "Ooh, 3 Days Grace, pick and take it," or I didn't want the other people who think I listen to scary music just be like, "Oh, that's scary music," and just throw it away.
I would have threw some hands.
Oh, they're gonna catch these hands. Don't worry about that. All right. Now just because I know your stepmom was on there, I just want to ask her what is the craziest concert story she has because I got a feeling I'm gonna hear some absolutely ridiculous story.
It's probably my first concert. I went to a Static X concert.
Alrighty, let's hear this story.
Well, I mean, I was a lot smaller back then, and the mosh pit started, and it started to come in around me, and I had to, fight my way out before I died. Because I'm, 4'11".
Oh, wow.
And back then, I was, 100 pounds soaking wet. So that was a very dangerous time, but I actually knew the lead singer. I knew his girlfriend and got to go backstage and party with them afterwards.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How was that party?
Yeah, I don't remember much from that night because I was 19 years old. So, yeah, and everybody else was 21 or older, so there was a lot of alcohol.
And you just, start drinking some of it, and then next thing you know, you just don't know where you are. Or you.
Well, I mean, I didn't feel like I was in any danger or anything. I was just like, woo, party.
Say otherwise, sometimes you wake up, you don't know where you are. Sometimes you wake up and you realize you're in the bush in the neighbor's yard. And I got to just kind of give a shout to my buddy Jimmy on that one because that happened to him.
Hey, no, that has actually happened to me, not from a concert before, though, just because I was partying too hard with friends.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had my days, and I haven't been to a ton of concerts, but I've been to Evanescence, Chevelle, I've been to Finger 11, and honestly, there's one that I can't even remember. Papa Roach. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Kingsdown?
Kingsdown?
Yes.
No, but should I check them out?
They're they're not a big band, and they have actually been around for a very long time. But they had actually, when they first started out, they came to our school, but it was like in 2003.
Okay.
And I've got the drumsticks from the drummer. I got a shirt autographed by every one of them because I just knew that they were going to be really big. But apparently they're still not because I can barely find anything on them.
Well, maybe I can get them a little bit more notoriety because I'm starting a project. I'm actually going to allude it to the end at the end of the podcast. I know I alluded in one of my Instagram videos. I think it was the one that came out this past Tuesday or the Tuesday before this. I don't remember. But I'm planning on doing a project revolving around dedicating one day to every time I put like a song of the day out there to smaller bands to try and get some of these smaller bands some more notoriety. And maybe, next thing you know, I put a smaller band out there, they get some notoriety, all of a sudden they get big, and it's all because of me.
Yeah. They were actually one of the first, more or less, it was when like the screaming and stuff started to come out in the rock music more and everything.
So like the late 90s?
Yeah. I'm old. Or older. But
See, don't worry, I'm not that young either. Well, I am, but not as young as...
How old are you? Because you don't sound that old.
I'm 24.
Okay, yeah, I'm quite a bit older than you.
8 years.
Shut up. No, I'd have to say this last concert, though, with Fear My Name, Atreyu, and Motionless in White is probably my all-time favorite one that I've been to.
Me too.
That was absolutely amazing.
I gotta say, Motionless in White does put on one hell of a show. I mean, it wasn't my favorite concert of all time. That still is reserved for one of the Rise Against concerts I went to. But, yeah. I mean, it was one of the... It easily belongs in the top 5. And I'm just not gonna focus on Atreyu or because I saw Wilson. There was a small band that opened up for him. I'm just focusing on what Motionless in White did. That's all I'm focusing on because holy shit!
Yeah.
They were amazing.
Yeah. Me and my daughter were pretty pissed off at the end because both of our roses got stole from us. And I even have it on video. He pointed straight at her and threw it straight over her head. And then the next one was thrown right at me, and that bitch beside me pushed me out of the way to get it.
Have you thought about posting that video online and trying to get Chris to see it, and then maybe have Chris send you guys roses?
We do.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to do that.
I mean, I did message him, but he hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I need to write the company for them too, because on the VIP passes, they were supposed to get 2 exclusive merch items. And they wouldn't give anybody any merch items when we were there. That was in the VIP.
Well, that's not nice.
Yeah, no, I'm going to write them and tell them that I paid for that and I expect to get what I paid for.
And the dude was rude about it too. Like when we went up there, he was like, yeah, a bunch of other people have come up to me too about it and it's not true. And you're like, okay. And walked off.
Come on, if you're a band, you can't do that. That's just bad practice. Because in the end, that could easily end up coming back to somebody else, or like end up coming back to bite you in the ass. Honestly, especially with the power that the average everyday person has on social media now, where their voice can be heard and can be spread rather rapidly, and especially that the old saying, "Bad news always spreads a lot faster than good news."
Oh yeah. Yeah, look how quickly it spread about my daughter and my adopted daughter flipping the camera off. Everybody knew about it within an hour.
See, now that's just I find that just completely asinine. Don't people have anything better to do?
My cheer coach literally called me and my friend out of class to talk to us about it. She had a class and called us out and was like, I called you over here, right? We were both like, yes, because of the post. And she was like, you need to delete it. I said, no, I'm not deleting it. It's my post. So I stood up for myself for the first time ever.
That's it. Okay, how did that make you feel about saying up for that, right? Because I just want to really hone in on that real quickly. How did it make you feel for standing up for yourself?
Usually I'm like the more laid back, okay, fine, I'll do it. No, this was something I really, really enjoyed. So whenever I stood up for myself, I was like, in the moment, it was like adrenaline, and was like, oh, this is awesome. I cannot believe I just said that to someone that I've been scared of for like 2 years now. Because I hate her guts. Anyone that's from where I live and are listening to this know who I'm talking about. I don't like her. She's been rude to me for the past 2 years I've been on the team. And standing up to her made me feel powerful.
It probably is a good confidence booster too. Just now you're feeling like it's if you can stand up for yourself, and this is how good it felt to stand up for yourself. Now next time something couldn't be more impactful, less impactful on you, but standing up for yourself is something that it's gonna gain you a lot of confidence, and it's gonna gain you a lot of respect, not only from other people but from yourself as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the first times I've ever stood up for myself in person. I'll do it over the phone because I know that they ain't gonna do nothing to me in person, or they ain't gonna do nothing to me over the phone. But I'm such a tiny person that anyone could like hit me and I'll fall to the ground. But you already know I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna fight back. I'm not taking nothing from nobody. But with her being in charge of me and my whole school career, actually, that made me feel kind of scared. But then again, that made me feel happy that I finally stood up to someone that I've been scared of for like the past 2 years.
Yeah, now that confidence just must be kind of oozing out of you at this point, just because it's like, yes, so someone
I'd
that
say
just
it again.
put me down. It's just like now that confidence just oozing out of you.
Mhm. I told it to my mom too, like my actual mother. I called her during school, and I was like, this is the exact words after she said hello. I said, concert was great. Wouldn't take it back. She's not irresponsible. It's not like I'm drinking and doing drugs out and about, And she said, hold up, I never said that they were irresponsible. When she has it on text where she said she was irresponsible.
Oh boy, see, that's always something that's interesting because it's people are gonna try and do that to anything to save their butts, and it's just if they are lying to save their butts, the truth is always gonna come out. It always will.
Yeah, and my blood mother, the one I've never had the guts to stand up to like that. I stood up to her, and with that, kind of made me like feel bad because I had just yelled at her, but also have like that I'm not a baby anymore. I'm able to do things that normally you wouldn't let me do because she's big into religion. She's a big Christian, and
They're called Bible thumpers.
And with me going against that and listening to the music that cusses and me cussing and stuff like that, she's kind of mad about it, but then again, has no control over what I do outside of her house. So.
Alrighty, Cadence. I'm gonna end this conversation on this note because I know we've gone well over an hour and we've gone to like an hour and 11 minutes. And I just want to end it with this because I've had a very enjoyable time talking with you. But there's something I really got to say about this. And one thing is, from just this conversation with you, I want you to use this as the takeaway. From what I've gotten from you, it's you are becoming incredibly confident in the person that you are. Now, again, that person that you are is always going to end up evolving just in time. You know, the person that you are right now might not be the exact same person that you are when you end high school or, you know, if you go off to college or whatever you do after high school. But the fact that you're going to have confidence in who you are and you know what makes you happy, whether it be around music, whether it be around what you want to do in life, whether it be around with whatever relationships you have, that's going to take you so damn far in life. And the fact that you have that now and you're really beginning to hone in on that now could mean absolute wonders for you. Because there are a lot of people that are out there that are just, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, that are very cookie cutter. A lot of the people that are, the popular kids in middle school and the popular kids in high school, they're so damn cookie cutter that they're going to end up, sitting at a desk all day, working a job they hate just to go home to buy shit they don't need just to impress people that they don't even like. And the fact of the matter is you have this confidence about you now that's growing. And the best thing you can do is double down on that and own it and own that confidence, because it's going to take you so damn far in life that I mean, especially the fact that you're in eighth grade, right?
Yes.
The fact that you're in eighth grade and this is already happening, it is absolutely wonderful, because man, you can do so much with this. And it could be the driving force behind anything. And if something does, and even if people are telling you, no, this isn't what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do, but you know in your heart that's what you're supposed to do, the more this confidence builds, the easier it's going to be just to go for it and to not care about what the cookie cutter society or people around you want you to be. So when it comes to listening to music, I mean, it ties in with Motionless In White. When it comes in Motionless In White, that feeling that you had going to that concert and with the post and everything, all the confidence you gained from that, just keep building on that and just keep going with it. And if you ever need to kind of have that point where you're going to, just to be recentered and just remember who you are, just turn on Motionless In White, just listen to 2 or 3 albums at a time. One song doesn't matter, or just jump in the car and just put the radio on full blast and just start driving like I do pretty much every single day and just enjoy. And then the confidence is going to be something that is going to be impeccable. And then before you know it, you're not even going to have to try to do it. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
So if anything happens, just remember that.
This has been so much fun. And like I said, you can get me anytime. I don't have a social life, so I'm normally free. For any time you want to talk about bands, I'm here.
Alrighty, because I got a couple other people that really want to be on this at the moment. I'll say this, unfortunately for you, there's one person who's been following us for a while, and she was supposed to be on for the episode when we reviewed the latest New Year's Day album, but she couldn't do it, and she really wanted to do Motionless In White, so I have to do the podcast episode after the new Motionless In White album releases. But don't worry, I will have you on some point in the future, maybe not in the next couple of months, but maybe afterwards, just to kind of check up on you, see how you're doing, and just talk more music with you, because this has been fun. I'm not gonna lie. This has been absolutely fantastic, especially for however late we're shooting this podcast right now.
Yeah, same.
Which honestly, I wasn't expecting to go so long, but I'm so glad we did, and so glad that we went on the direction that we did, because that's the best way to go about it. It's just conversations happen, and you just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
And look at that. But yeah, just remember that. Just keep that confidence up, because it is an asset that many people do not have. And the fact that you are getting that now and are developing it now and have a good base on it, man, that can take you far in life.
Yeah, and You keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job with you being able to go out and see as many concerts and people as you want, and having your own account dedicated to that, and it going so far. You have honestly gone further than a lot of people in life have gone. So keep going. You're doing great.
And I'm not even, and I even just got started. So maybe one day they'll actually be paying me to go to these shows.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. Alrighty, well, Cadence, again, thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Oh, you're welcome.
You will be on the podcast at some point in the future. Just not sure what date yet, but I'm so glad to be able to talk to you, have a conversation with you, and just keep on rocking, keep listening to Motionless in White, and again, just thanks for being on.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoyed it.
All right, and stepmom, thank you for interjecting as well and being on and sharing your stories, because that was also fun.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You guys have a great night.
You too.
All righty, goodbye.
Bye.
Alrighty, I was not expecting that conversation to go nearly that long, but holy crap, I gotta think that might have been my best one so far, because we not only talked about music, but we really got into the depths of life. And whew, was I happy about that one. My heart was actually kind of pounding at some of that, because you think about it, that girl has a shit ton of confidence and is building and growing. Watch out for her. We'll keep an eye on her, because she can go far in life. Alrighty, couple of things before we go. Couple of new music things we have to talk about. First, I'm going to talk about, well, New Year's Day came out with Unbreakable on April 26th. We all knew that. But between our last podcast and this one, they came out with their video for Shut Up. So their new music video for Shut Up, and I watched it and I thought, okay, I got to talk about this. At first, I was really confused. I'm like, are they just going to do this Ash Costello sex appeal thing where it's just, just her just rolling around the floor dancing or just singing? And why is she wearing a clear coat? It just made no sense to me. After the first verse and the chorus, and they got into the second verse, all of a sudden they were looking at business cards that said vice president, and I kind of was a little confused by it. But then when I saw Ash Costello pick up the one and just kind of like drop it and kind of just like shake, I finally realized they were doing some wacky American Psycho thing, and that was honestly a rather interesting, but I thought a rather good move for the music video. Mostly because the fact of the matter is the music video is all about, female empowerment, or the music was all about female empowerment for this one, especially with Shut Up. Even though I didn't necessarily like Shut Up as a song and I wasn't the biggest fan of the video, I do like the direction they went in, because it really take a look at a classic that is American Psycho and turn it into something of their own. And I do enjoy the scenes they picked with the business card scene and the scene where Patrick Bateman, played by Christian Bale, basically hacks to death one of my favorite frontmen in rock, Jared Leto. Can't remember what the name. I can't remember the name of what his character was in that movie. Paul Allen. That's it, Paul Allen. But it was played by Jared Leto. But I actually did enjoy the concept of the music video. I just didn't necessarily enjoy the video as a whole, because I'm not necessarily big into the song. But I think they put together a good one. Not much there. Alrighty, one other thing that happened during the past week was Skillet put out a quick little video saying coming soon, and it looks like some kind of an album cover. Now, is anyone thinking that this might be a new album? There's a lot of people that were on Instagram, on Twitter, on all over the place. They're thinking that we're going to get a new Skillet album, and I gotta say this. Of course we are. What the hell else do you think this announcement is? They've been talking about how the fact they're putting out a new album in 2019, they've been working on a new record. They just finished up a new record. If you've seen them in concert when they were here, or when they were going on tour with Breaking Benjamin and Under Oath, they played this song. I think it was called Rise Up. That was off their new album, and it was pretty good. I mean, I listened to it. I heard it. So this has to be a new record, and I'm stoked to listen to it, because I kind of got a little bit more into Skillet. I wasn't the biggest fan of most of their stuff on their most recently, so I think it was Unleashed. Did like Feel Invincible, but when it comes down to it, I really hope they kind of just go back into more of that just heavier stuff. I mean, listening to what John Cooper and I can't remember the other guitarist's name, The guy guitars, because they did they were with Fight the Fury. I like what they've done there. I kind of want to see them take a little bit more of that harder tone and harder sound into New Skillet music. Kind of like what they've done on songs like Not Gonna Die, and I hope they do. I kind of think they are going to. So I think we're going to have one hell of a Skillet record to come out with. Alrighty, last thing before we go, I want to talk about this new project we're doing. It's called Small Band Saturday. We're starting this in June. I believe the date is June 8th. June 8th we're starting this. So, is it June 8th? Shoot, I'm going to kick myself in the teeth if I cannot remember the freaking, whatever. But it's the day after Motionless in White releases Disguise. So this is what we're doing. Every day we pick a new song of the day. That's basically the premise. But every single Saturday now, starting on and the second Saturday in June, which I think it's got to be the 8th. Yeah, it's the 8th. We're going to be featuring small bands. Why are we going to be featuring small bands? Well, let me tell you, because some of these small bands are great. Some are great songwriters creating great notoriety. And we maybe could use some notoriety. That's where we come in. We want to get you guys to listen to some of these smaller bands. So, if you guys if you know a small band, if you're a part of a small band, and if you think you fit our bill of what the kind of music we like to listen to would be, just direct message us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just email us, kevin@mysongoftheday.com, and send me your stuff. And if I think you're worth it, I'll let you go into the process that I need for you guys to take, or for me to play your music on our Alexa skill and feature you as a Song of the Day candidate. And we'll go from there, and I will promote the fuck out of that. Mostly because I think it's a great way to get new bands some notoriety, smaller bands some notoriety, and just have one hell of a time doing it. So, yes, Small Band Saturday is starting up in June, and I hope you guys are a big part of it because, well, I want to be a big part of it. I'm enjoying this shit all day, all night, and yeah. So, shoot, I don't even know how long we went, but I know we went long as hell today, especially because of that interview with Cadence, who, again, I just connected on Instagram as me commenting on her post, and it was actually the middle finger post that she was talking about. That was the one I commented on. So I was really happy about that. So, happy to hear from her, and I want to hear from you guys as well. So if you want to be on the podcast, just let us know. Just send us a direct message on Twitter, Instagram, anywhere, honestly. I'm down. I love to have people on this stuff. I love to talk, guys. That's where I think I get the most amount of content. And then we talk about life as well. How cool was that? Alrighty, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one because I really did enjoy making it as well and talking to Cadence. So, this is Kevin from the My Song Day Rock 2008 presents the Chord Progression Podcast. Now, you guys know this from me. I end each and every IGTV video, Instagram live stream, any video, and YouTube video. Now podcast as well with this. Let me clear my throat. See ya!